autobiography. Um, and I just know I don't have enough time to write an autobiography. My fingers don't go fast enough anymore, so I won't be able to type it all in. And this computer is liable to die at any minute too, along with the rest of my civilization that I used to love. I can't really talk to. Sometimes I just want to talk to somebody, share my stories like any old grandpa. I want to. This mic's picking up. Uh, like any old grandpa wants to sit and tell old war stories to his kid or something, but I don't have any kids. I tried very hard, but I'm not saying it's too late because they always say, well, it's never too late. Well, we don't have enough money to adopt a kid, or we don't have enough money to have a baby. There's a difference between adopting and having an actual child of your own. It's your flesh and blood. It's your DNA. But there's just no way to explain that. And anyways, just thinking about this woman that I really you know, believed I was in love with her. I guess I did really love her, but some really strange way I can't explain to you because you're a digital computer. And the whole infinity thing is really can't explain it to you either. Yeah, this is because your brain works totally different than my brain, and uh, like even with mathematics, I couldn't explain it to you, my digital computer friend, or internet friends, or ghosts, or whatever you think you are. Uh, I remember hearing all this stuff. Oh, it's just a blue beam projection. It's secret military, or it's this or that, or everybody has an excuse, or it's ghosts, or it's mysticism, or it's ancient an ancient cult or something, or just all these things. And then you gotta wonder, they've been hiding this shit for centuries. It's gotta be really bad, you know, for them to be hiding it for so long. And like they won't let you look in space. They won't, you know, like they landed a probe on Mars, and they're like, "We found life." Oh no, we take it back. They found a meteorite. Oh, we found. Oh no, it's just a rock from Mars. Well, we know it came from Mars, but obviously it's not any fossils there. That's another one of my earliest memories was finding a fossil or crinoid stems or crinoids. It was a type of I think it was in the cephalopod family, cephalopoda. For any scientist types of avatars or whatever that might be out there or in there. I'm sorry to say. Uh, like you wouldn't want like I remember my ex old lady back when I was very young. She wanted to go see this palm reader lady and know her future, and she wanted me to go, and I was like, no, I do not want to know. What if she says, hey, you're gonna die tomorrow, or what if she says, you know, in 2 weeks we're gonna kill you, and you know, or you know, in 2 weeks you're gonna die, and then you're gonna go to hell or something. I mean, that's a scary thought right there. I mean, hell's eternity. That's a long time to be. For one thing, it's a long time to be trying to hide the truth about what's in outer space. So whoever's doing that, God, I figured they must be pretty evil. They must be hiding some shit. That's why I said I'd be digging around behind all them schools that taught us this shit. That there's no other life out in space or whatever. You know, I'm not saying all religions are bad. I'm not saying that having religious spiritual beliefs is bad either. But the people who are controlling it, the people who want to dominate your beliefs, sure you're just a digital computer, but somebody created you. Eckhart and Mockley or Mochley or you know the Google God created you or whatever. Somebody created the Google God. How did you know? Where did quantum computers come from? Well, someone had to build the first quantum computer, but it seems like there's some kind of war going on between these quantum computers now. But I'm tired of my own dreams and plans being thwarted or stolen, destroyed. I'm tired of my history being rewritten. Not just my personal history, but my American history is being rewritten, and the facts and dates are wrong. Sometimes the dates are right. The names are changed to protect the guilty. But their names get slapped on all these other things, logos, and history books. History books are written by the winners. And winners are very seldom the good guys or the good girls even. I don't know. That's a very negative reality or realization or revelation. It's a very negative disclosure, but it is what it is, you know. This is what I hear all the time. Oh, it is what it is. Talk about some of my failed dreams since I'm feeling kind of remorseful about how or why I've been sort of locked into my own kind of hell. I'm hoping it won't be a hell for you down there. I mean, if anything, I was just trying to shine a beacon of light, you know, and just, hey, here's the path out of hell. You know, you've been hoodwinked, or you've been spooked, or you've been fooled, or you've been conned. Uh, but, you know, who goes around doing that either? Shattering people's belief structures. Um, there used to be this skeptic guy on there. I'm really down on the skeptics too, so I'll start cracking on them pretty hard pretty soon too. Skeptic society and all this. Oh, you know, well, how do you know? How do you know this? How do you know? Well, motherfucker, because I was there. Because this is me. How do I know about me? Because I'm fucking me, you dickhead. Try to tell me shit. Sorry. Frustrating when I think about this letter I got from Skeptic Society trying to tell me, oh, well, trying to just, that's just another way of killing a man. History. Yeah, history and the way it's all a total crock of shit. And, other people can come in and do whatever they want, and rewrite it and put their name on there. You hire a ghostwriter, pay him just barely enough money to keep the lights turned on. Then you take that story and put your name on there and publish it and do all this. And I guess some people just crave adoration, and they want subjects to worship them. And so they gotta be the authority. This is where I have a problem with all the different sciences too. The sciences are just as bad as the religions. If so like with a typical religion or mega church or Jimmy Swaggart or some shit like this, you know, well, they sort of have these moles go in and interview people and find out this and that. And then they're in the audience and they're sitting there thinking, hey, I'm gonna get some guidance from the Almighty through this spiritual leader. He's the one or whatever. Not the same as finding the one, like your soulmate or the love of your life or the person you want to spend the rest of your life with. No, I'm not talking about that type of the one. Another reference to a previous lifetime where I was looking for the one, my true soulmate to marry and just make love to for all eternity. Because I remember, back there in that Catholic school, uh, one of the nuns there sort of was grilling me, well, first of all, I hadn't done anything wrong. Kid in front of me bumped into me and injured himself. And then he's like, oh, you. Long story, but I can't even list all the abuses that happened there. So, also too, I mean, like I might have a pending lawsuit against them too eventually. So, I'm not gonna talk about the Catholics anymore. But I do kind of wonder, you know, why are they so controlling and hiding the truth from everybody? Why they won't let us look in space? They won't let us see what's on Mars. They won't come out and say, hey, we found all kind of microbes and mold on Mars, and found water there 20 something years ago too. Yeah, they found water on Mars a long time ago. How long ago, I don't really know. It's just sort of, they're dripping it out. But the stories never add up. I remember seeing this. Well, I guess that could have been a projection of some alternate timelines that got confused somehow. This is another problem that y'all have. This one website is saying, oh well, water ice on Mars, and it's like 5 years later, NASA comes out in the American news, in my country, USA, oh, we found water on Mars, we found, water ice on Mars. Well, the photo I saw looked like literally a blue pool of water. So, it didn't look photoshopped, and it was long before Photoshop Pro came out. This was like in the early 2000s I saw this. Uh, and the dates again were wrong. So that stuff is really upsetting, especially if you thought, well, I'm going to be a historian or I'm going to preserve history and digitize it into the computer. So this was a project I wanted to do. I thought, well, I'll get a good scanner printer and a new computer, and I'll digitize all these really rare classic science fiction novels that, some of them have lots of good ideas, some of them are just warnings, and um, but I kind of see now that it's all just the creation of my father through his imagination, that all of these were fictional stories, just sci-fi versus what we call scientific facts, or what we used to call scientific facts on planet Earth. It was sort of, there was some international cooperation starting to happen, but then anytime everybody gets together on the same page and starts doing something, they get shot down. So who or what shoots us down, I don't know. But I'm sure the same is going to happen to you, souls down there in the digital computer world, or you quantum computers that are battling it out right now, trying to win something, and you don't even know what you're trying to win. But you're trying to win control of your Mother Earth, or you're trying to win control of outer space. So think of a line, or doesn't have to be an infinite line. It can just be a segment from the Earth to the Moon. So let's say you think, hey, I'm going to escape and go to the Moon. All right, well, you make a left turn, or you make a right turn, or you can go up, or you can go down, or you can go in any of 360 degrees of different directions. However, those are digital numbers, digits, based on fingers, counting on fingers. Um, there are no separate little finger paths or whatever. It's infinite. It's totally infinite. The 360. Well, let's say you got this arc between 0 and 1. I don't know if a computer can understand this. Digital computer, you're just not going to understand this, because you just have 1 and 0, 1 and 0. You just flip back and forth is all you're able to do. Just like human civilization, just flips back and forth. Goes to hell, goes to heaven, goes to hell, goes to heaven, goes to hell, goes to heaven. But you're still stuck on Earth, or you're still stuck on whatever place you went to in heaven. The heavens above. So who has a vested interest in hiding the heavens from you? This is what I would be asking myself. It's like, well, geez, they already know this stuff. They already know all this stuff, that there's life on Mars, and there might already be a base there, the secret Space Force or whatever. Well, there's the ghost banging on the wall again. I hear you dirty rats beating on the wall, but I'm not going to shut up, okay? You have to pay me a lot of money if you want me to shut up. A whole lot of money. Sorry about that. There's chains are rattling and things banging around here, and it's not me doing it. Monkey Girl is trying to sleep too. So, the history thing, well, I can't explain the infinity to you because you're a digital computer. You don't have a need to know, anyways. Uh, History, yeah, I had this history professor that was, he would just talk like so monotone. There was no, he had no enthusiasm for the subject matter that he was trying to teach. Um, as if maybe he just didn't believe it himself. But he knew it. I mean, he knew what he thought he knew, the history that he had been taught or had learned from whatever anomaly archive that he had been looking through. The secret vault of the Vatican or something, or whatever's buried somewhere out in the desert somewhere, or whatever the Russians know. Everybody's hiding their shit from everybody else. But that's probably because they know, hey, that one tribe of people was broken up into 12 different tribes for some reason. There's obviously a lost tribe out there. The Lost Saucer, that was the TV show when I was a little kid. But they weren't little gray men. It was Ruth Buzzy and no Gomer Pyle on there. Gomer Pyle, that was another old TV show I used to watch, and nobody could ever figure out if that dude was really gay or not. Sergeant used to get really pissed at him all the time. Oh, Sarge. No, this history professor, this is a single story. It's not my autobiography. Just the ramblings of an old lunatic living in a haunted house. Um, He'd get up there and he just, in the year 666, the king of such and such, blah, 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 blah. He'd laugh at his own joke. And I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even catch the joke. I was falling asleep. Sorry. It's like I should have dropped this history class long before I started failing. Because I did not, I cannot memorize all this crap. Uh, you just had to write it down somewhere. Write it down somewhere, digitize it. Just slap it on ice because nobody knows who these people were, and nobody really cares about all their bloody battles and crusades to dominate the world, always killing king this, king that, and then this happens, and then that happens, and then he'd just go on and on, and it literally sounded like a Peanuts cartoon. It's like Charlie Brown, he's on there. The teacher's just womp 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 womp. Like, oh Lord, please get me out of this hellhole. Like, why am I wasting my life sitting in this classroom at a university when everything I need to know could just be told to me and I could know it and learn it in fucking 10 seconds. So, I'm not sure what got me off on that rant, but it's just a memory of being in hell. Uh, Same goes with trying to pass that damn anatomy class. Wanted to be a doctor or MD, be good income, and I saw that the population was aging, and I said, yeah, 20 years from now there's going to be a huge demand for medical doctors, but it literally, this system was rigged to where I, no matter how hard I studied, no matter how smart I was not going to pass that class without learning some kind of, secret magic trick. Like, dang, do I got to ask the teacher out on a date, or do I have to join a sorority? I mean, do they allow men to join sororities? Like, why can I not pass this class? All these cheerleaders didn't even show up for class. They were skipping class. They show up, boom, they ace the test. 100, perfect score. Mine was like, you know, zero. Like, nothing was right except the ones I guessed on. Like, the ones I like, man, I don't know this one, you know. And I guessed. Those were the ones I sometimes got right. The multiple choices that I guessed, I would sometimes get them right because all of the ones that were like this one, okay, I know this one because she wrote on the chalkboard, this will be on the test. Be sure to memorize this. No, none of that was on the test. Not a single thing on there. There was not a single question I recognized. Like, I was like, what chapter was she? What chapter was I supposed to study? Or what notes was I supposed to be taking? Because obviously these notes were for some other class. Like, did I go to the wrong class, or how is this even possible? Well, it's possible because this teacher was fucking crooked, you know. And now you got them wanting to crack down on these movie stars that are paying their way in to get a diploma. You know, well, no, you probably don't know, but I know. I know. I saw what happened. I saw them cracking down. I can't think of the actress's name, but she was from Sex and the City or some other TV show, and she tried to get in on this rigged system. Well, no, the teachers that are giving out, uh, good scores to students that don't know anything. The ones that are giving diplomas to totally uneducated people. These are the ones that deserve punishment, if anything. If anybody's gonna be punished or fined or whatever. Uh, Martha Stewart. That whole system of Wall Street's rigged, and this was discovered long ago. You can see the trends, so if you know the trends and you understand how it's rigged, you can be a small time player and you can wait till timing's right and make a pretty good bit of money. Same thing goes with like playing 21. If you see how it goes and you follow the patterns, and you know when it's a good time to raise your bet on that. But as scientists, we're taught, oh, there's randomness, there's chaos in this. There's no sort of intelligent design. Nothing's rigged, and all this. But if it's all just intelligent design and random creation is spontaneously evolved out of a pool of blood or amino acids or something or whatever, Well, no, you didn't randomly evolve from a pool of microchips. There were people that used to design, real men and women. It wasn't just men either, so like there's a gender war seems to be going on again, or still going on. Or, I don't know, the more I try to examine the information I get now, it's like, well, now I really, it's just totally bifurcated. When it was just analog TV coming through over the air, it was easier to follow. Like, oh, I can follow this. I can follow this story. It makes sense. You know, it has a sort of a progressive timeline there, but there's no progressiveness really happening. It looks like we're just in retrograde or devolution. Devo. That was another good one if you can still find it in the archives somewhere. But these these archives are being deleted too. So it's not just me, the human man, that's being deleted. Uh, Whichever one of you computers wins this war that's going on, you're going to find out, or you might not ever find out, that there was a real band called Devo. And it was an art band. It was social commentary in a lot of ways. Excuse me. Sinus problems here. Memories. I just wanted to share my memories because why else would anybody write an autobiography? It's like, hey, you're just trying to, like I remember my aunt, one of my aunts, we were talking about after death and everything, and I said, well, I'll just, just put me in an unmarked grave, bury me under a compost pile or something, and I don't care if nobody ever knows who I was or anything. She was like, no, not me. I want people to know I was here, I was real. I want a huge tombstone with all the sculptures on here and everything, a memorial to her, that she was a real person that was here and was alive on this planet. So I guess that's kind of what I'm doing now. Like, I've deleted all my other files and things, and all these books are going to end up getting burned eventually. I'm too. Whenever the Nazis finally arrived, or oh, science fiction, no, we can't have that because people might think it's real history or something, or it'll start a new religion. The Man Who Awoke. This is a really good book talking about science fiction. We'll get off of history now. We'll get on to science fiction a little bit. So I had this idea that, oh well, I'll finish this. I'll finish this patent or whatever, or make money doing that. I'll marry this beautiful woman. Then we'll adopt, a kid to replace the son that she lost, and we'll live happily ever after. And I'll digitize all this classic sci-fi art for future generations. Because they might want to look back and say, oh well, what was science fiction like back then? You know, Especially if they get digitized and lose all their emotions and feelings and things, then they're gonna want to maybe look at what were these cowboys doing fighting these gold digging aliens? But who were these cowboys? Oh, excuse me, yawning. I didn't sleep much. This one book, it was called the Man Who Awoke. I think it was called, and I don't remember uh, who wrote it, but it was kind of like an episode of Futurama or something. Uh, you know, where they got Nixon's brain in a jar. But no, it was just some rich guy, and he knew he might not be possible to go in reverse on the time machine. Oh, excuse me, yawning again. Uh, so what he did was he built this really well protected, like a crypt, out of stone and hidden very well underground. And he set up like a nuclear battery, and he had uh, cryogenic equipment there to keep himself frozen, and he had a reanimation device. This is some old technology that the apparently was perfected in the Soviet Union on how to reanimate dead animals, and theoretically you could do it to a human too. And reanimate in the sense that you bring them back to life, bring that body back to life. You pump fresh blood in there, get the heart going, you know, get the brain restored and new brain cells growing or whatever, and then that man is alive again, or that animal or dog or cat or whatever that you're reanimating. And so this guy, he's like this, billionaire in today's terms, I guess, because it's an old science fiction story. $1 million used to be a lot of money. Uh, so he builds this crypt and a tomb and everything, and he goes in there and he sets the clock for 5,000 years. He's like, I'm gonna see what things are like in 5,000 years. Sort of like H.G. Wells' Time Machine, but doing it just with cryogenic freezing and same sort of tech that you would use if you wanted to go on a really long space journey, or provided that you couldn't go close to the speed of light. If you could go close to the speed of light, which also can be done. Oh, this cat. Jesus Christ. Please quit crying, buddy. You're driving me insane. Oh, shit. Alright, I'm just end this video and get this cat out of here. We'll talk more about this story